So we got Ricky double checking the crankshaft, writing all the numbers down. Everything's looking really good. Also like to point out how nice Ed smoothed out all the flashing and all the garbage and just really cleaned up this crank.
Yeah,
looking really good. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and get the rods out of the box, check them out a little bit. What do you think?
I think we're gonna be fast.
Yeah.
Real fast.
I know you're gonna dig this.
There we go! Hey guys, welcome back to Dre Racing. So today, we're going to show you, we just got our rods back from Ed's machine. And man, do these things look great. Super clean. Ed did a fantastic job on these. And you could tell in some spots we were actually pretty tight.
Yeah, so he checked they didn't need to be, they were not egged out, but they were just actually a little bit tight. So he honed them to fit, and he didn't have to shave them and rebore them. Just a little bit of light honing. Yeah, it looks really good. They're
Yeah,
clean,
nice.
ready to go. So
today, the main goal is we're not ready to put the engine together today, but there's just a little more prep work that needs done, like chasing threads for the heads. We're going to measure
the journals. Yep.
Journals. Make I forgot what the number Ed said, but for our sake, your sake, you like to take all the measurements for future reference. So we're gonna do that. A little extra cleaning, and not a whole lot to show really, but stuff that important detail stuff that needs done before we actually start assembling.
Right, so we got the rings gapped, so that's ready, and so we might be able to get the crank set in tonight yet.
And we also got to put the pistons on the rods.
That'll be the most time-consuming thing, because spiral locks, right?
Yeah, that was fun getting off.
There'll be a treat putting them back together, I'm sure. All right, so looking really good. If you didn't see Ed's video on these, go check it out. There'll be a link in the description. Did an awesome job of honing them, and really pleased. Definitely worth the wait. These look amazing. All
right, guys, multiple days later. We're back working on the engine. We got a lot of the detail stuff done. In the past few days, you got pretty hard at work on this.
Yeah, we got the rods mounted on the pistons, the spiral locks installed. I didn't video any of that. I just installed them.
All right, you said that was the first time ever putting spiral locks in?
Yeah, the first two were a little slow and tricky, and then I figured it out, and then the last 6 just went on. So not a problem. I should have made a video because I did learn something, but I didn't.
And then you did the plastic gauge on a couple of these?
So yeah, we checked the clearances on the crank, and just like Ed said, it would be about 2,000 clearance on the mains. We haven't checked the rods yet. So that's the next thing. I want to get the rear main seal in and the rear cap first, and then we'll work our way. Get the crank installed, and then we'll start on the pistons.
And then also another major improvement. So, I don't know if you guys can tell, but these motor mounts are...
that one's
look at this one. Yeah, look. These are in bad shape. This middle piece moves.
Yeah, they're shot.
So last time we were in the shop, I'm like, maybe we should order some of those. And by the way, they're, for both of them, shipping, taxes, everything was under $50.
Just
solid
stock OEM replacement, nothing special, and shipping $50. Total.
I mean, we could probably spend a little more money, get better aftermarket ones, but for this will be. If we were doing that last year, I'm sure this will be more than plenty. So yeah, we got these new motor mounts put in. It's gonna be a little process, trying to just get pieces thing together, but the goal. At least.
Okay, so it's Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday evening. I want to try to be running
Sunday.
Sunday, maybe driving. Might take. Worst case scenario, might take 8 hours to get the engine and transmission in. Worst case scenario. So.
All right. Well, let's get this crank back out and get things ready to get the seal in and get going on this.
All right. Okay, we got the crank all tightened down.
Yep.
Or torqued. I should say you torqued all of it. A little gassed. But yeah, it spins freely.
Oh yeah, looking good, looking good. So let's flip her over and start working on the rods. Or yeah, the pistons. Get the rings on and see how that works.
All right. So how are you liking all your new toys for engine building?
Oh, these ring compressors work really well. That's the way to go.
So you don't want to go back to using your fingers again?
Nope.
Then
The ring compressor.
yeah, where'd the ring compressor go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, this thing was pretty slick. Took a minute to try to figure it out, but getting them pushed right in easily now. So yeah, we're struggling, but we're getting figured out. Trying to at least get the rest of the pistons put in tonight, and then should be. I mean, hopefully. I mean, I'm not gonna jinx anything, but hopefully wrap up the engine tomorrow, and then hopefully Sunday start at least getting it put in.
We'll see.
So that's where we're at. A little time consuming, but all the pistons are in. I'm about to torque number 8, and we'll be calling it a night.
Just do a little cleanup and head on in. Yeah, we're continuing to assemble the engine. I just want to point out we're using the graphite steel shim head gaskets. That's a 0.028 compressed thickness versus, I want to say we were about 55 on the last set of gaskets. So we're picking up about 1/3 of a point of compression. And got everything cleaned and prepped, and we're going to go ahead and put this together and get it torqued down. Yeah, we went in 4 steps on this head. As you guys can see, we got that done already. And kind of wore us out a little bit. The engine stand likes to walk around a lot, so yeah, I better put the camera down and help me out with this, Ricky.
Good. So it's been a little bit since we put a video on this, but the heads are all done, torqued. You got the cam in, chain on. I'm right now I was getting this the water pump and
Timing cover.
I don't know where the water pump's at. Got that cleaned up because it was nasty. Finding a lot of things that we didn't do or should have done prior to this, so we're getting that. But yeah, we're gonna get a new seal pressed in here, and then get this on, and then we are gonna be tackling the oil pan. I guess before we even do that, we got to put on the oil pump. So still got some things to do, but it's come along semi-smooth.
So it's about Saturday mid-afternoon, 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock?
Yeah. We're running out of time.
It'll be done before the night, and hopefully we can get it in tomorrow.
Yeah, save everything for install tomorrow, yeah.
So we can refresh and be good to go. So that's where we're at. All right,
Ricky.
so we've pretty much got the top half done. Now we're concentrating on an oil pan. As you see, we have a windows tray in here, and we had problems with it last year. So we're just taking a little extra measure to make sure we're not having those problems. As you see, this is our on the custom.
Yeah, it's a custom adapter to make a 340 pan fit a 360 pan. Sure hope this works.
And so we're kind of messing with this windows tray that comes with the Stefs pan. It's going to be a little bit of experiment because you can see there's holes in an oil pan. So we don't know what we need to use for RTV.
Probably just RTV it and hope it don't leak, yeah. Get that. And you can see inside this pan, there's an acceleration baffle. And that opens up. So what I'm going to do is we're going to measure where the windage tray is, and we're going to try to estimate how much oil we want in this thing. Probably 7 or 8 quarts, but just want to...
We used 6.
We ran 6. I think we can probably run a little bit more than that. And so we're going to dry fit this oil pan, work out all the bugs, and see what happens.
All right. All right, so we're kind of getting a plan for how we're going to be dealing with our gasket for this 340 pan for a 360 block. But we thought we'd just take a look real quick and see how the pickup tube would go, so we could kind of see on my phone there.
Yeah, we want to make sure there's enough clearance, and I know you could use clay or something like that,
But back it out there. Oh, right there. You can see the gap between, because down.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks
you
like
can
an
see it.
adequate gap.
So, yeah, plenty of room there.
So we got the gaskets fitting well in the back, and we figured out the side, but the front, the real challenge is, I'm just using a piece of cork to simulate the thickness. It's the radius changes significantly. It's very tight here and a lot of gap here. So that's what we're dealing with. We're cutting on a gasket. We might just glue it with no gasket. I haven't figured that out, but I think I'd like to put something in there. So that's what we're struggling with right now. Taking some time, but
Hopefully this will be worth it, and especially trying to put the engine in will make it worth it.
yeah, the fact that it's narrower and will fit through the K-frame is what we're really after. All right, back to work, Ricky. So Ricky's gluing this in like it's never coming off.
We'll have a new engine before this ever comes back apart.
Yo.
I
Yeah,
think
we got
thick layer there, but
we got an 1/8 inch we got to cover.
yeah, it's
Well, let's set the pan, see what we got. Bigger the glob, better the job. And you get all the bolts started, we just start snugging it down.
and there's gonna be some more squeeze. So, and we put a lot in there, so hopefully, I think that might clamp in there.
It's gonna sit a couple days. Now we're using Ford Motorcraft RTV, and this stuff we've used it before. It works really well. Mostly because we had it, but
Yeah, it's real good stuff. So now just going around and make sure everything's snug, and then before we really
then
tighten
probably
them.
start in the middle, work our way out, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, Ricky, what you doing? Looking for the cap?
Finding stuff again.
We do spend time doing that. So we got the pan on, and we're gonna call it a night. It's 9 o'clock Saturday night.
Probably could keep working, but drained. Absolutely drained.
So
From between yesterday worrying about our tolerances for the rods to the oil pan today, just
yeah, the oil pan was consuming. I'm really happy. I believe this is sealed. Looking good. Intake manifold tomorrow.
yeah. So
Get the tranny bolted up, and we're gonna drop motor and tranny in one piece.
I don't see why we couldn't.
Yeah, that's the plan. The Stefs pan is narrower, so it should fit.
Yeah, the original plan was to get it running by Sunday, but I don't know if it's happening now, because the whole plan was to get this together today, complete. But that's not going to happen.
Intake manifold, rockers. We got to check push rod length, etc.
Yeah.
I think we have to shim the rockers is what we're going to have to do.
Yep.
All right. Let's call it a night, and we'll pick it up in the morning.
All right, so first thing in the morning, and before we flip it over and do everything, we're going to replace the motor mounts. And it turns out that somehow we got the wrong ones.
So you can see the motor mount, the factory one, kind of comes in on the back side, and this one's straight. So we're going to shim it out because we need that. And what'd you find?
So so this is sitting, and you're like this, right? And I took out one bolt, and I'm like, oh, there's still another bolt holding it on this side. Not thinking because I can't see. So I take out this one, and the whole thing drops because this thing was just bolted to itself. It wasn't. This motor mount was held in by 2 bolts, not 3.
Previous Dodge owners, eh?
You are him.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how that happened.
I wonder why your engine twists so much.
Don't drink and assemble engines, folks. All right, so let's get this mount on.
Yeah, it's gonna sit like this, and at least the holes line up. So yeah, I mean, it's probably not shimmed out by much.
Oh, this one's not bad at all. And as we found out, we really don't need that last bolt.
Yeah, technically. Maybe we did get two the same side.
Yeah, it appears that way. We'll make them work. We'll get some washers, we'll shim it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old mounts are absolutely shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, nasty. All right, back to work. Well, upon further review.
I did buy half the right parts.
Yeah.
On the websites I looked at, there was like no variations in part numbers, and short inspection on the block, these things looked exactly the same. So I didn't think much of it, so I accidentally ordered two passenger side motor mounts. So for now, at least, until we find the right one, we're just gonna put this stock one back in and just run with it for now. And
Yeah.
and luckily, I think it is the better of the two that we're on. Maybe I'll go with that.
Yeah, we're not out too much.
So that's where we're at with that.
Lesson learned.
So a little while later, we got all the push rods and rockers in on the passenger side.
Yep.
Got the balancer on, and now we're about to get the other head done before we put on the manifold. Been
Checking push rod lengths and things
Yeah.
like that, and
because we
getting
did
getting our geometry squared away.
Mhm.
So things look to be in order. Let's get this other rocker on and start getting the manifold on.
yeah.
Thought you were putting this engine in today.
It'll at least get in.
You're still assembling it.
Yeah, we were supposed to be done assembling yesterday, so it's
Yeah.
probably not running today.
It's almost 2 o'clock Sunday. Putting the valve covers on. Get the hoist out.
Yeah, the hard part is going to be getting it in there, because after we get on the
Lift.
lift, yeah,
Yep.
we just got to put the flex plate on, and
You look wore out, Ricky.
yeah, mentally not there. But we're getting close. Once transmission is all put together, if this oil pan is everything that we think it is, this will just drop right in.
Right in.
No problems.
All right, we'll see if it will. Hey, Ricky.
Yeah.
Having fun yet? Okay, here's the problem. The new pan does not clear the K-member
With
And-
the transmission attached.
with the transmission attached. And we are up against the firewall with transmission, so we're kind of wedged in here. So what are we doing now?
Taking transmission back off.
Yeah.
Wasn't this pan supposed to be the be-all, end-all?
Well, it's too long. If the pan was shorter. Oh, man.
It's given us like 3 or 4 problems now, when it was supposed to be the answer to everything.
Okay. All right, let's get this transmission off. We're going to try to do that where it sits and then drop it down with the jack and then scoot it back. All right.
Well, we caved and decided to use this piece of modern technology to help us get the transmission in.
Yeah, it was a lot easier. We dropped the engine in and then set the transmission on a table because we don't own a transmission jack yet.
And then drop the car on top of the transmission.
So what are you doing now? You're tightening the transmission mount,
Yeah.
bolts in the back.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it. We're gonna get the rest of the engine to transmission bolts, and then this
And then the torque converter.
So and that's kind of it until
For
we
today.
get back to it.
Yeah.
But that's also kind of going to wrap up this video. There's nothing else to really see here. Just we got the transmission and the engine in, which was the main goal. But goal was running 2 days ago. But you know, that's how it goes.
Oil pan's looking good there. Kind of a tight fit.
Yeah. All right, guys. It's going to wrap up this video. Hopefully, we'll be seeing you at the track May 20th, 21st for the first and second points race of the year. A year ago, I got runner-up in the first points day, and I think I made it to the semifinals the second day. So let's hope I can back that up and have a good season. So like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.